2 generational talents, 1 championship dream, 0 playoff wins beyond round 1. What went wrong in Hollywood? The Lakers went all in, pairing LeBron James with Luka Dončić in a bold midseason move that screamed Superteam. But after a first-round exit and more questions than answers, it's time to ask, was this star-studded experiment a failure? Well, that's all, folks. The grand Hollywood script starring LeBron James and Luka Dončić, the NBA's version of a blockbuster buddy film, just got a painfully anticlimactic ending. The Lakers' season ended not with a bang, but with a collective groan, a few limps, and a scoreboard that refused to cooperate. Let's rewind to February 10th. That was the day LeBron, never one to shy away from a fashion statement that screams, "Read between the lines," walked into warm-ups wearing a shirt with 100 on it, an unmistakable nod to the combined jersey numbers of him, 23, and Luka, 77. Subtle? About as subtle as a drunk in traffic. It was a loud, proud, "I'm in on this," from a guy who doesn't do anything by accident. Fast forward to Game 5 of the first round against Minnesota. That hopeful shirt might as well have read 404, offense not found. Luka was grimacing from a lower back jam after a hard foul in the first half, looking like someone who regretted carrying the weight of this entire team and possibly several IKEA couches for the past few months. Meanwhile, LeBron, who has taken pride in defying Father Time, was hobbling like he finally got that art card in the mail. But even with both stars visibly running on fumes, they stayed on the court with 7 minutes left, trying to will the Lakers to victory. Crypto.com Arena Scoreboard did its best impression of optimism, flashing images of Luka and LeBron like it was still the beginning of a movie montage. The numbers 77 and 23 add up to 100, right? As if synergy and jersey math was gonna bail them out of a series they never really had control of. Down 2 with 3 minutes to go, the dream was still alive. Kind of. But as had been the theme all series, the fourth quarter turned into quicksand. Every step forward sank them deeper. Minnesota's defense clamped down like a bear trap, and the Lakers' offense dried up like a puddle in Death Valley. A 103-96 loss sealed their fate, ending their season in the first round for the second consecutive year. It doesn't happen overnight, Coach J.J. Redick sighed after the game, probably wishing it hadn't happened at all, at least not like this. LeBron admitted that the midseason trade for Doncic flipped the team's dynamic on its head. No more shared ball ditties with Austin Reeves. This was Luka's ship now. When you get a guy like Luka, the game changes. Your approach has to change, James said. And that's not easy, not for anyone. Let's be clear, Minnesota didn't exactly play a perfect game. They missed 40 threes. That's 4-0. That's enough bricks to open up Lowe's. And yet, it didn't matter. The Wolves out-rebounded the Lakers 54-37, and Anthony Edwards shot a miserable 5 for 19. Still didn't matter. The Lakers were at home. Didn't matter. Rudy Gobert turned into a playoff monster with 27 points and 24 rebounds. That really mattered. Luka put up 28 points on a 7 of 18 shooting, but it felt like a quiet 28, the kind that says, "I showed up," but not, "I took over." LeBron had 22. Austin Reeves struggled and owned it. "I didn't have the series I wanted," he admitted. "You can point the finger at me. I wasn't good enough." At least someone said it. And honestly, the whole series felt like a bad group project where everyone was hoping someone else would step up. Minnesota played like a team with one brain, 5 bodies, and a single-minded mission to make the Lakers miserable. The Lakers played like 5 guys waiting for the hero moment that never came. The Timberwolves were tougher, sharper, and more cohesive. The Lakers, they were a highlight reel waiting to happen from 6 weeks ago. Redick tried to adjust. He went small, benched Jackson Hayes, and gave Dorian Finney-Smith more minutes. Bold move. But then, Rudy Gobert responded like a big brother in a game of one-on-one. "Oh, you're going small? Cute. Here's 24 rebounds." Even when the Lakers clawed their way back in the third quarter, something they rarely did this season, and even led briefly, it felt like putting duct tape on a dam. The fourth quarter hit and the offense just vanished. They scored 16 in the fourth. For context, toddlers throw more temper tantrums in a 12-minute span. Redick tried to stay positive. "We got good looks," he said. Missed shots at the rim, missed threes, shot 12 for 52 from 3 and 4 quarters this series. Let that sink in. 12 for 52. It's the first time the Lakers have bounced in the first round as a top 3 seed. They're now 2 for 12 in their last 3 playoff series. That's not just a bad trend, that's a full-on spiral. Doncic was blunt in the aftermath. "Everyone has got to get better. It's going to be a long summer." Long indeed, because when you roll out 2 of the biggest names in basketball history and get sent home in round 1, you don't get to call it a learning experience. You call it what it is. A flop. A super team in theory, not execution. A trailer with no feature film. Maybe the 100 on LeBron's shirt was accurate after all, because this season, it's getting roasted. This was supposed to be the year. LeBron James and Luka Dončić together on the same team? Come on! That's like putting Batman and Iron Man on the same squad. You expect explosions, victories, and a whole lot of smug post-game quotes. Instead, what we got was less Marvel movie and more awkward buddy comedy. You know, the kind where both leads are super talented but can't quite agree on where to eat. Let's start at the beginning, or rather the middle. The Lakers were doing fine-ish when they pulled the trigger on the blockbuster deal for Luka, swinging the NBA equivalent of an all-in poker hand. And why not? Doncic was a top-tier scorer, playmaker, and certified fourth-quarter killer. LeBron was still doing age-defying things like dunking on guys half his age and remembering all his kids' birthdays. The narrative practically wrote itself. Then reality came in with a folding chair. From the jump, chemistry was weird. You ever seen 2 guys try to dance and both insist on leading? That was Luka and LeBron. Both are ball-dominant stars who thrive with the rock in their hands. The problem is, there's only one basketball. The other guys, mostly standing around like they accidentally walked into a pickup run at an NBA gym. LeBron himself admitted the identity of the team shifted once Luka arrived. He and Austin Reeves had to hand over ball handling duties like it was a game of hot potato, except instead of fun, it was mostly confusion. The offense looked less like a strategy and more like jazz, but not the good kind. The chaotic, disorganized kind your uncle listens to while assembling IKEA furniture. Now, let's talk about expectations. When Luka put on a Lakers jersey, people immediately started photoshopping championship batters. But those images aged like milk. The Superteam label implies dominance. It implies chemistry. It implies winning. What we got was a glorified group project where no one quite figured out who was doing the PowerPoint and who was just eating snacks. In Game 5, the final act of this tragic comedy, everything went wrong in high definition. Luka got banged up, LeBron was limping, and Minnesota said, "Thanks, we'll take that playoff win now." Rudy Gobert turned into peak Shaq, grabbing every rebound like he was getting paid by the board. Meanwhile, the Lakers were putting up bricks like they were trying to build a guest house behind the Crypto.com arena. All the hype, all the memes, all the talking heads predicting domination? For what? A first-round exit? Again? This is now the second year in a row that the Lakers have been bounced early, not exactly what you expect from a team with 2 of the top playoff scores in NBA history. And it wasn't like Minnesota was perfect. They missed 43s in Game 5. 40! That's not just bad shooting, that's an entire exhibit in the what not to do basketball museum. But it didn't matter. The Timberwolves were younger, faster, tougher, and somehow more together. The Lakers, meanwhile, looked like a team trying to run a heist but forgot who had the getaway car. Luka finished the series with decent numbers, but he looked visibly worn, dragging himself up and down the court like someone who didn't update his software in time. LeBron gave it everything his 40-year-old body could muster, but by Game 5, he looked like he needed an ice bath, a nap, and maybe a hug. Reeves admitted he didn't show up when the team needed him most, and really, nobody did. That's the thing about super teams. They're not just about stacking talent. They're about fit, buy-in, trust, and identity. The Lakers tried to microwave all of that in 2 months, but chemistry doesn't work like instant noodles. You can't just add water and expect a championship. So where does that leave us? Luka says everyone needs to improve. LeBron hasn't said what's next, Redick probably wants to unplug his phone for a while, and Lakers fans are once again staring at an early summer full of what-ifs, and at least the Dodgers look good. The experiment is over, and while it was fun to dream for a second, the truth is this super team fizzled out before it ever really ignited. Turns out star power alone isn't enough, not when the stars are burning in different directions. The hype was real, the results not so much. Is it time to blow it up or double down? Let us know what you think. Was it just bad luck? Or is the super team era finally done? Drop your thoughts in the comments and join the debate.